Hello students, today the topic of our discussion is leadership. First of all, what is leadership? There are several definitions given by several authors. In this presentation, I'll discuss few of them. According to Kuntz and O'Daniel, the leadership is the ability of a manager to induce subordinates to work with confidence and zeal. It is the ability of an individual to influence, motivate, and enables others to contribute towards the effectiveness and the success of the organization of which they are members. Next is the nature and characteristics of leadership. This leadership is a personal quality. It always exists with followers. If there are no followers, there is no leadership. It is always a willingness of the people to follow that makes person a leader. This leadership is always a process of influence. A leader must be able to influence the behavior, the attitude, and the beliefs of his subordinates. Leadership exists only for the realization of common goals. It always involves readiness to accept complete responsibility in all situations. Leadership is the function of stimulating the followers to strive willingnessly to attain organizational objectives. The leadership styles do not change under different circumstances. This leadership is neither bossism or synonymous with the management. Next is, what are the different leadership styles, or we can say the types of leaders. First is the autocratic leadership style, or we can also call it as authoritarian style leader. An autocratic, also known as the authoritarian style of leadership. It implies yielding absolute power. In this style, the leader expects complete obedience from his subordinates, and all decision making is centralized. There is no participation by subordinates in decision making process. No suggestions or initiative from the subordinates are entertained. All the decisions, whether they are major or small, are taken up by the leaders itself, and subordinates are forced to obey them without any question. Next is laissez-faire or free rein style leader. Under this, maximum freedom is allowed to subordinates. They are given free hand in deciding their own policies and methods and take their own decisions. In this, the leader provides helps only when required by their subordinates. Otherwise, he does not interfere in the work of their subordinates. This type of leadership creates self-confidence in the subordinates and provides them an opportunity to develop their talent or skills. Next is democratic, or we can also call it as participative style of leadership. Under this style, a leader always acts according to the mutual consent, and the decisions are reached after consulting the subordinates. Here the subordinates are encouraged to make suggestions and take initiative. It provides necessary motivation to the workers by ensuring their participation and acceptance of work methods. Here the mutual trust and the confidence is created, which automatically leads to the job satisfaction and improved morale of the workforce. Next is the bureaucratic leadership style or rule-centered leadership. It is a type of leadership where everything is influenced by rules, regulations and procedures. The leader set up a procedure for adhering to the rule book. All decisions are taken on the basis of rules and regulations. No deviation of the set of principle is allowed under all circumstances. The employee are not encouraged to take the initiative. Here the over dependence on rules and procedures bring red tapeism, which is excessive formalities in the working conditions. The next leadership style is manipulative leadership style. In this style, a leader always tries to achieve the organizational goal by exploiting the weak points of the employees. The need and aspirations of the employees are used as a tool for achieving the organizational objectives. The employees are exploited through different means for extracting more and more work from them and not compensating them for their additional efforts. Next is paternalistic leadership style. In this style of leadership, it is always based upon the sentiments and emotions of the people. A paternalistic leader is like a father figure to the subordinates. The leader looks after the needs and the aspirations of his followers and also helps their families. He helps, guides and protects all his subordinates, but they do not grow under him. The subordinates become dependent on the leader in this type of leadership style. Next is the formal and informal leader or formal and informal leadership style. A formal leader is one who is formally appointed or elected to direct and control the activities of the subordinates. He is a person created by the formal structure. He always enjoys the organizational authority. He is always accountable to those who elected him. The formal leader has a twofold responsibility. On one hand, he has to fulfill the demands of the organization, while on the other, he is also supposed to help, to guide and to direct his subordinates in satisfying their needs and aspiration. Next one is informal. These informal leaders are not formally recognized. They derive authority from the people who are under their influence. In any organization, we can always find some person who command respect and who are approached to help, guide and protect the informal leaders, have only one task to perform, that is to help their followers. Informal leaders are created to satisfy those needs which are not satisfied by the formal leaders. An organization can make effective use of these type of leaders to strengthen the formal leadership style. Thank you.